Welcome to our May webinar. This month, we're going to have Troy from our marketing department go over some free services to help you promote mold testing and your business in general as well. So we'll give people a few moments to gather. We already have a bunch of people here, so we won't spend too much time waiting. As always, these are recorded. You can access them on our website, usually within a day or two after the webinar. If you want to go back and see anything you may have missed or forgotten, those are always available to go back to. If you want to look back at any of our previous webinars, I think this is our 15th or 16th webinar, maybe more. We try to do them once a month. And this month we are breaking from more technical presentations to more business focused here, which should be pretty exciting for you guys. We'll go ahead and just get started. We're just going to give a quick intro to Sporesight, TechSight as a company. Going to go over some 3 free tools for promoting mold testing services, as well as some that didn't quite make the cut as being top tier free tools, and then a few paid tools as well. There'll be some webinar attendee questions and answers. You can ask questions throughout the webinar if you just post in the chat. We will try to answer those as we go along, and there'll be dedicated time at the end as well for more questions and answers. So I'm just here to introduce TechSight, and then I'm here to answer some questions as well at the end. The main presenter this month is Troy Bankhead, our VP of Marketing here at TechSight. He does marketing for us, Sporesight as a business, TechSight as a company, and everything in between. He does a lot for us, and he'll go over some of his favorite tools for helping our business grow, especially these free tools for you inspectors. So TechSight is the name of our company. Sporesight is the name of our environmental vertical or department. TechSight is a company we were founded in 2013. We're world leaders in machine learning, artificial intelligence, computer vision, digital microscopy, focusing in on diagnostic testing for air, liquid, and smearables. We're used by labs, pathologists, doctors, vets, home inspectors, all sorts of professionals around the world. As I mentioned, Sporesight is the name of our environmental vertical. Here we have our mold and air quality testing. Human analysis is under our company name of TechSight. We have a collaboration there with Mayo Clinic as well as other human health providers. And then our veterinary or animal analysis is under the brand of VetScan Imagist, which is a white labeled product by Zoetis, who is our global partner in the veterinary space. Here at Sporesight for our lab, we have some credentials. I'm a certified spore analyst. We are AIHA MPAT participant. We have a Texas mold license for mold analysis license laboratories. They're the only state that requires that, so they're the only state that has that license. We're actually going through our process of becoming accredited under ISO 17025 as well. So we have a commitment to you inspectors. We want to provide you with the best and fastest, most affordable mold testing service out there to get you and your clients the best information possible. We do that on the back of our report, which really what sets us apart from other labs. Besides from our AI analysis, our report is really what we pride ourselves in, as well as fast report delivery. So that's really our goal, is continuous innovation, giving you the best service possible and the best reports possible. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Troy, and he will take you through on his top favorite free tools for growing your business.
Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, I'm excited to be able to present this to you today because I've been a small business owner in the past, and I know that the marketing element can definitely be challenging for lead generation, for communicating with your existing clients. And what we want to do today is present to you three free tools, honestly free tools that you can use and get started with today that can have a real impact on the way that you market your business. So let's jump right into it. The first tool that I wanted to talk to you about is called Canva. Now, Canva is all online. There's no software to install, and it's a graphic design tool. Now, it started off pretty basic, but it's evolved into something much, much bigger. The main part about Canva that's going to interest you is the capability that this site or this software has to give you pre-made templates and a lot of tools that help you create things like social media posts, pre-formatted, flyers, business cards, any number of your client-facing documents, such as invoices or the contracts you use and forms you might be sending to your customers. It will even help you create video clips and client presentations. Now, within Canva, you have things like a drag and drop editor, which allows you to take different elements from other places on your computer or resources that are within Canva and automatically just drag and drop them into the designs you're working on. They've got tons of templates. They even offer different styles of designs. They have a lot of stock images and graphics. Now, I'm going to show you a live demonstration of this, and you'll see how they try and upsell you, of course. But in terms of stock images and graphics, they do have a whole bunch of them that are available that are actually free. They have AI-generated writing and designs that you can use to help you formulate your messages. And they can even do the last mile, which is helping you even print and deliver some of your assets that are actually going to be physical. And it, of course, comes with a bit of storage as well for you online. Now, when you're using Canva, probably the strongest message that I would have is use the tutorials. They're great because they've got a lot of them and they're very short. They're digestible content and they can help you with any little question that you might have or things you don't understand. That would be the first thing that I would do. Second thing that I would do in Canva would be really to use their brand kit. And that's just a fancy word of, it's a place where you can store your logo, your colors, your fonts, and other things that as you're going through and creating your different assets, you don't have to search for them or re-upload them every time. They're just always there. It'll always use your colors, your fonts, and propose those by default. The third thing is use your own photos. Get into the habit of taking customer photos with your existing clients or project photos that you can use in your various communications, because you can upload those into Canva and just be able to take them, drag and drop them into whatever it is that you're creating. And then lastly, look at what other competitors and other people are doing so that you can get good ideas. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing what already works and what someone now is actually show you a live demonstration. So let's go ahead and do this. I would like to share with you Canva. This is what it looks like. And what we're going to do today, let me shrink this just a bit so you can see it a bit better. What we're going to do today is create a design, and I think let's go ahead and create an Instagram post. Now here, of course, we've got a blank one, but I mentioned the templates. They've got templates for everything. Now in this case, let's type mold inspection. I have no idea if this is going to come up with anything. But let's say this one. This one looks good. And so here, when I come into this, I immediately have the right formatting for Instagram post. I can come here and say, should I order mold inspection? And then I can come here and mess with my carriage return. I did type something out just before this, so I could copy paste it into one of these templates. And here you can see kind of an initial stab that their AI tool had at filling this in with just some mold inspection copy. We're not going to keep that, but it does illustrate how the tool is pretty powerful in at least being able to help you do this. And here, for example, Mountain View inspection.com. I just invented a website. Okay, and then here I can come into, let's see, my uploads. I think I want a better picture, probably this guy right here. And if I want to focus on her, I can move that around. So in just a few moments, as you can see, we were able to literally create an Instagram post. Now, of course, let me just change this. I want this font. There we go. Of course, you have total control over this. You can change your templates, but that's a good example of how we can use these tools to create very quick posts. And then all I have to do here is share it. It'll export it for me, and I can then go into another tool. In fact, there's one that I can share with you just after this to publish and schedule those posts. And so that is tool number one. There are a ton of features that I didn't show you, but I just wanted to show you a real live example. I literally just created that now, and that is usable as is in Instagram. And so you can go and just upload it from there. The second tool that I wanted to share with you today is a tool called HubSpot. Now, I can't I can't overstate enough the importance of having some sort of tool that helps you manage your communication with not just people you don't know yet, but your clients. HubSpot is one such tool. It gives you a way to manage your leads. And when I say leads, it can be the person you met on the bus or on the street or at the restaurant, or a friend of a friend who was recommended to you, and you want to reach out to them and pitch them your services, or who you want to regularly communicate with just to keep top of mind, so that when they do have an opportunity, maybe they sell or buy a home, they'll think of you. It gives you document tracking, pipeline management. When I talk about pipeline, I mean you've got a lot of leads, and then you narrow down those leads to contracts. And it allows you to manage that whole process. It also allows you to schedule your social media posts. Social media for a lot of you is probably, or at least should be, one of your main tools for reaching larger audiences, simply because they're so powerful. Now, I haven't in this presentation gone into, for example, posting to Meta or their websites, or posting to the various social media platforms. Although that could be, if we have interest in that, shout it out in the chat, and we can actually do one of those at a later date. But HubSpot can allow you to schedule your social media. It allows you to do great email marketing. It allows you to interact with your customers using forms, and even manage your ads. And so with your free plan, of course, there are some functions that you won't get, but you do get meeting scheduling, which is basically a cool feature where you can get a link that you can literally put in emails. Click here if you want to talk about a home inspection, and they can see your schedule and your open hours and when you're available. They've got a great mobile app, and I mentioned earlier how useful it is to simply be able to go into the app, to click on add a note, or add a contact if it's someone new, or add a task. For example, follow up with John, and then you can add notes. They're expecting a baby, they're looking to move or to buy in 3 months, et cetera, et cetera. And to be able to have that and to be able to track that so you don't forget things. They also have email scheduling, tracking, notifications. I'm actually going to show you one of the things that we can do with HubSpot, which is very quick email creation. You can actually build your website in HubSpot, and they offer full themes. They can also integrate with your normal Gmail, or if you use Microsoft or Outlook, they can integrate with that as well. And of course, HubSpot also integrates directly with Canva. So really quick, let's go, and I'm going to show you now HubSpot. This is their website, and to get going, you just get started free here. But what I wanted to show you today, this is our actual, this is Sporesight's HubSpot platform. So when I come in here, I can see a lot of different templates. Let's choose this one. Now, when we come in here, if you'll notice, we created another post in Canva. And one of the first things I might want to do is come here and maybe just modify the colors a bit to be a bit more conducive with the other design that I had. Now, I've already uploaded this mountain view. That's the name of the company I'm calling myself today. There are sections in these templates that I can just remove. If I come to this picture, I can also replace it with maybe this guy here. And here I can actually come and, let's see, get a 15%. Let's say, for example, I want to off all new mold inspections if you book before 28th of June. Up, and here I can also modify this. Actually, let's choose a lighter color and put the text here. Now, again, I've just created this really quick for the example to be able to show you today. Let's come here and format it just a little bit. We can maybe make this a bit bigger, bold it, center it. And then here we want that nice and bold, maybe a bit bigger. There we go. And then here, maybe our call to action is contact us today, right? And that button I can, of course, send to a link. And then below, we don't need these other sections, so I can just delete them. I can put our logo here, and I'll want to make it a bit smaller and maybe put some padding on it to make it look a bit better. All of this HubSpot puts in automatically for you. And so it's a great way to very efficiently come up with a nice on-brand email that marries nicely with the other one. Let's go in here with the Instagram post. And then what I can do is simply come into settings. For my subject, I can put news service alert. I can even personalize it with the contact first name, for example, if I want. And then in my preview text that shows up often in mail browsers, I can have that show up, and we are good to go. At this point, I can then either, as I mentioned earlier, you can segment your target audience between maybe existing customers or your leads, and you can schedule it for later if you want. And then I can also send myself test emails, make sure everything works before I actually send it out. So there's a quick and dirty example of how I literally just created an email in HubSpot that I can start sending out and communicating regularly with my clients. And those communications, they can be case studies, right? Every time you finish a successful job, take a picture of it, think of a story of something that you found, a way your home inspection was able to help the client. For the mold inspections, there are lots of stories that we get from various home inspectors that we can that you can use. So really quickly, with the time we have left, I wanted to show you the third tool that we have, which is Google Search Console. Now, why this one? Well, it's because many people don't think about it, but Google Search Console is critical because it lets you know how the world is seeing you. Now, instead of showing you some slides, I'd like to go straight into the presentation. So let's go there. And in Google Search Console, this is where you see, this is your dashboard. And this is where you, this is your dashboard. And this is where you can see at a glance all your reports. And this is what shows you how Google sees your website in search results. So let's say, for example, we click on Search Console Insights. Here you can see a dashboard that combines the Google Search Console data with site visit data that come from Google Analytics. And it provides simple focused snapshots that show several key metrics and changes for your top performing pages and top performing content. For example, here I can see that one of our leading articles was our leading pages is the sampling pump, for example. And I can also see that at Sporesight, organic search is our main source of traffic, and direct search, meaning people that already know us and just type it in, that's number 2. And then of course we do paid social. Going back into the search results, here I can see how many impressions, and here I'm just looking at the last 3 months, but you can change this. I can see how many impressions, meaning how many times I've appeared in Google search results. And I can also see how many clicks have resulted from that. And of course, the click-through rate in our case is 6.2%. Now, good reason for that is probably because our average position is number 30 in the list, which is pretty far down. We definitely need to improve that. But also, if you look here, I can see what the main search terms are that allow people to find the website. And what this does is it allows me to modify the content of my website to include these search terms even more. Because when I do that, then those search terms are going to lead to more impressions on Google search and higher ranking. And that's critical information for me or you as a marketer. And these search results are useful for showing things. For example, if you've got a low click-through rate, well, if your impressions are significantly higher than your clicks, you might want to create better titles or snippets to make it more attractive to customers. And then lastly, I wanted to show you the core, one of the other things I wanted to show you is the core web vitals. Now, this, for example, you can look at how your website is seen on mobiles. In our case, we've got some improvements that need to happen. It's just one thing. It's that we need to reduce the page size. For mobile, they don't like it being longer than 2.5 seconds to load. So we know that we need to improve that. And lastly, I wanted to show you the links. And links is important because here you can review all the internal and the external links on your website. Internal links are just that, pages on your website that are linked to other pages on your website. But the top linking sites shows all of the external links, or they're called backlinks, that link back to your website. And so to improve your search engine optimization, contact the people who know you, who have their own websites or that you do business with, like realtors, and have them link back to your websites, because this has an impact on your search engine rankings. So this is another tool that can have a direct impact on the way that you are found as a company, as a home inspection company. Okay. In the time remaining, I really wanted to go over some of our runners-up. Other free tools. There are Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace. Now, these are 3 spaces where you can create your own website, kind of like HubSpot. Grammarly. You might not think about it, but if you look on the image to the right, it can help you write better and even propose improvements to the way that you're writing in any and all of your communications. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I spoke to them earlier. Monday.com, if you have teams and want to manage your not just marketing, but everything, it's a great way to help you just manage your resources. There's also Google My Business. Look at how your business shows up in like Google Maps and when people do searches. Google Analytics, we didn't go through those, but it's another way to look at how your site's performing. Hotjar, if you want to look on your website where people are clicking and how, it can even show you heat maps. And then last but certainly not least, for any and all of your client-facing communications, ChatGPT is an incredible resource that you can use. And then lastly, some low-cost tools. You got Fiverr. Fiverr is great if you don't feel comfortable creating any of these. You can literally contract people for such a great price from around the world. And you just choose them, you do these little jobs with them, and they can perform marketing tasks for you. There's SEMrush, there's Facebook ads, there's Google ads, and lastly, which is actually a good one, InterNACHI, they actually have free marketing services that they offer to their members. So that, in a whirlwind, is our top 3 tools that we like to promote, that we think can have a real impact in your business as you promote your mold services. There you go. So Dylan, maybe you want to come back on and see if we've got some questions and answers.
Yeah, Troy, I see a question that you may be able to give some feedback on, maybe not. But Jim asks, might you know why my business doesn't show up in Google under mold inspection or testing? I fixed search parameters and business type several times, but nothing helps. Google doesn't have an option for mold inspection, although they do have home inspection. Most clients I find aren't looking for mold inspection under home inspection.
That's actually a really good question, Jim. And this is 99% probability related to Google Business. And you're right that they don't have the exact category. And in this case, when you say that it doesn't show up, I would first look at the basic search engine optimization for your website, because maybe you're referring to just showing up in search results. And as you saw, even us, and we concentrate on this, we're still showing up number 30. And in our particular case, I know why. It's because the people we're targeting or that we're marketing to aren't the end user, or aren't the homeowners like you guys, but the home inspectors. And so it's kind of a niche market for us, and so it's more difficult. But in your case, if you've already taken care of the search parameters and your business type, and it's still not showing up, for example, when people just type mold inspection, then that is definitely a case where you're going to want to look more at your search engine optimization.
All right, another question here. Ryan asks, what are some common mistakes small business owners might make when first using these tools, and how can I avoid them?
Oh, that's a good one too. So for Canva, common mistakes. When you're creating in Canva, in fact, I listed the mistakes kind of as my recommendations. Make them as personal as you can, and not necessarily the arm on the shoulder type shot, but try and connect with your audience by showcasing the problem. Maybe they're looking at some mold in their home, or they got their kids, and your message is how to keep them healthy in looking at mold. With something like HubSpot, common mistakes are trying to go too far too quick. Start simple. Just go in, maybe do the email marketing, and then you can discover and explore the tool as you go along. And then Search Console, the biggest mistake that you can avoid with that is not taking action on what you see. It's very easy to look at it and say, oh, that's interesting, but then not follow through with it and actually make those changes. Because what that requires you to do is come back after a week, 2 weeks, and see the change in your search engine results.
Another question here from Richard that asks, what is your favorite SportSite marketing tool?
So for SportSite, our favorite tool is a mix between Canva and Facebook ads, simply because Facebook for us today is the most efficient way for us to reach our target audiences. And Canva is the way that we create all of our, if you've seen any of our ads on Facebook, then that's where we create our ads, and it's the tool that we use for that. So yeah, we love it.
All right, looks like we have time for maybe a couple more questions. I've got one here from John that asks, is it more feasible to forward a mold domain over to my current home inspection site?
That's not only feasible, but I would advise it, simply because, well, there are two strategies with that. In fact, I wouldn't advise it. I would probably if you've got a mold domain that you like and that's really representative, then what I would do with that would be to create a landing page. And the reason I create a landing page is because you can super focus that onto keywords that you want people to search on, more so than, and get better results than you would be able to with your own website. And so on that landing page, you would totally customize it to those keywords, and you can have 1-2 pages in that kind of mini website. And then every link on that website would simply point to your home inspection site. Every call to action from that landing page could lead to your main website.
All right, I've got another question here from Kelly. This is one I can answer here. Saw an ad that you're now offering same-day reports. Is that correct, Kelly? Yes. So if you're a subscriber to the Working RE magazine, you may have seen our ad prompting same-day reports. So previously, our standard service level was the following business day, you would receive your report from when we received it. We've upped that up significantly for you. So if you get samples to our lab prior to 1 p.m. Mountain Time, so if you use our return services or use your own return services that have an AM delivery, we get those before 1 p.m. almost every day. Then your samples will be turned out and you'll get your report by the end of that business day. So that's our new service level. You'll probably see some ads from Troy and his team, emails, etc., talking about that. But that is in fact where we're operating right now.
And mid-June, we'll have some even more exciting news.
Yeah, we'll have our webinar lineup coming up here this summer. It's going to be really fun because we've got a bunch of more new things to share and introduce to you. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot of communication from Troy and his team over the next few weeks and months. So I think that's our final question. We're a few minutes over. Thank you guys for coming out. Again, if you joined late or if you had to drop off and come back, this is going to be recorded and shared on our website in the Pro Resources section. No worries there. And you can always look back at our previous webinars as well. So thanks everyone for attending. We had a really great turnout. We look forward to seeing you again next month.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.